Hello everyone. We welcome you all for the MOOC course on NGOs and Sustainable Development. Module 31 deals with social inclusion, health for all, education for all, food security and water security. So long you have been studying about the sustainable development, the processes, what we need to do so that we will have a sustainable living. We live in India and we all know the USP of India, unique selling proposition of India, the uniqueness of India, that's unity in diversity. So when we have diversity and if you want to have unity, then it is necessary that inclusion goes along with that. So in that context, what we are going to see now will be very useful. We all know that wellness is the thing which every individual will be looking for. Wellness has got two components: social well-being and emotional well-being. Social well-being is a sense of belonging to a community and making a contribution to the society. And the emotional well-being means feeling good, being happy, experiencing positive emotions like love, joy, or composition, and feeling generally satisfied with life. These are all the longings of every individual, every human being living in this earth. And the sustainable living should ensure that the wellness of all the human beings are taken care of. We also should know the world in which we are living now. We are living in a world called VUCA world. VUCA is an acronym for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. So if you analyze every word individually, you will understand that it reflects the scenario happening in the world today. We are not able to be certain about anything that's happening, and people are not able to plan and then do as per the plan tomorrow. Everything keeps changing because of so many other factors, the technology, the other issues that we are facing now. The world is said to be a VUCA world. So in this VUCA world, if we want to have the inclusivity, what we should do? The first thing that comes to our mind is interdependence. It has been studied thoroughly and found out that interdependency is the way of life to survive in the VUCA world. Only if we are interdependent, we'll be able to be united. And we know that India is known for its unity, even though we have many diversity factors in India, like languages, religion, caste, color, culture, states, gender, different economic status, social status, political affiliation, and so on. We can even add on a few more. But however, in the midst of all this diversity, India maintains unity. Hence, inclusion should be a mandate of all our efforts. That's one of the reasons why we are concentrating and we are studying about inclusivity in today's lecture. Any initiative such as sustainable development taken up by anybody, such as any body, such as NGO, non-governmental organization, should consider the diversity factor and make sure that it is inclusive in nature. In an inclusive society, people will concentrate on equality. That is a common norm. But at this juncture, we want to introduce a new term to you, that is equity. It is equity that is more important than equality. And ultimately, one should aim at justice. So that means we must understand what is reality, what is equality, equity, and justice. The next slide will explain to you the difference between these four. Reality is about what's happening now. People who are having more, they are having more. People who are having less, they suffer. There is a clear divide, economic divide. And if that's what is happening, then inclusivity will not take place. We cannot say that it's an inclusive society, because inclusive society should take care of everybody and opportunity should be given for everybody. That's not happening in the real situation. If you move on to the equality, if the inclusive measures take up like distributing things equally for everybody, yeah, some may gain, some may not gain still, but at least the giver will have a happiness that yes, we have distributed it equally. And maybe that's what is happening now. But at this juncture, we want all the students to understand that that's not enough, and we should move on to the next level of equity. Equity is to find the current level, current need of everybody and providing to them to suit their need so that they will be enjoying. Their well-being will be taken care of. So that's equity. So distribution will be unequal, but it will be dependent on the need. It's a need-based supply is what is needed. So in all the sustainable development models that we undertake and in all the NGO initiatives, that's what they will be looking for, an equity, providing an equity to the community so that everybody will enjoy. Of course, we have to move to the next level, that is justice. That may be a little high for the UG program, so we will skip that. Now, to define social inclusion is the act of making all groups of people within a society feel valued and important. So that's the dictionary meaning, and this is what is important. Only when they feel that they are valued and they are important, then the inclusion fulfills. Social inclusion means that all people have the best opportunities to enjoy life and do well in the society, and making sure no one is left out or excluded. So the last point is also very important. All of us should note that. And this includes equal opportunities for so many factors like access to education and training, having fair employment opportunities, having a safe, secure home, use of healthcare, public transport, and other services, connecting with family, friends, and the local community, and dealing with personal crises such as ill health and so on, and being heard and influence decisions that affect them. If all these things are taken care of, then we can say that, yeah, inclusivity is complete. In an inclusive society, everyone has a meaningful, valued place in the society. They get enough opportunities to participate and uplift themselves, regardless of their age, cultural background, ethnicity, and so on. If we want to ensure inclusivity, then we should also talk about social exclusion. We know the society where we are living in, there are bad elements in the society which results in pushing some sort of people to be away from the society. they are excluded from the society for some reason or other. And we know that many NGOs are fighting for this, and we must make sure that excluding some set of groups or individuals from the society is stopped. That's not the only way where exclusion happens. Sometimes the individual themselves or the society themselves, what they do is they exclude themselves from the regular group, the normal group, for various reasons. Maybe somebody is feeling inferior and they don't want to mingle with other mainstream people, so they themselves exclude the society, some part, some community, local communities, they exclude themselves. Again, this is bad. Even if they exclude themselves on their own, that should be stopped, and we should have mechanism to include every individual in the society. Then only we can say that we are developing a inclusive society. And in an inclusive society, what is important is to take care of education for all, health for all, food and water for everybody, and make sure that food and water security is ensured. And these are all the 4 critical elements of sustainability, and we will be touching upon these issues now. Maybe we will see why we need to talk about this education, health, food and water at this point in time. Why only this? We have taken up these 4 because they are very important in Indian context, and if we don't take care, maybe we may have to face big challenges which may not allow the country to develop. And so I'm going to tell you why education, why health, and why food, and why water. That will definitely create interest in every student, and with that I'm sure that the students can go to library or see the full PowerPoints or the notes that's been given with this, and then learn for themselves and make sure that they do their part in creating an inclusive society. I told you education, and this demographic data that's shown here, it's a moving animated chart. It shows the population of India over the years, and if you notice, you can see that the population bulges in between, and that's a mark of Indian demographic, in the sense that the working population, it's known to all over the world that the working population, meaning the age group from 16 to 45, is maximum in India. Earlier in India, people were very unhappy that the population is increasing, going above unmanageable level and so on. But right now, this is talked about as a demographic dividend for India. This working population, we'll be able to supply this working population to across the globe, because in all other countries, including China, the population is aging. They will not have working population in future. So that's the demographic dividend. And if this bulk of population, working population, if they are not educated, we must understand that this demographic dividend will become demographic disaster. Because if people are there, hale and healthy, without education, we can understand that they will become useless, and they will become frustrated, they will not get jobs, and they will become unsocial elements doing damage to the country. And so in that context, education is important, and that's one of the reasons why education is talked about as a very important ingredient in sustainable development. And when we talk about inclusivity, we must make sure that education is imparted to every individual in the society. The next is about health. Inclusivity includes health for all. Research has found out that health has got, numerous side effects. If everybody is here and healthy, that's well and good. But if they are not, what has been proved is that poor health reduces the global GDP by 15% each year. It's not only for the globe, it's true for Indian context also. So we must make sure that people by and large are hale and healthy. Whatever that is needed, starting from primary health care, which is given to the infants in villages and so on and so forth. Every single aspect of healthcare should be taken care of. If people are not healthy, you know that people will not be happy. They will not be able to work, and all these things have side effects, and so it's not good. And in another direction, in another dimension, we can also see that if poor health is there, there's a paper which says that it can also increase the GDP. If everybody falls sick, and if everybody is going to spend thousands and thousands of rupees every day, every month on healthcare, naturally GDP will increase. So this is the negative effect of GDP, but it has been found out that the reduction in global GDP or the country GDP is overtaken by the increasing GDP, what can happen because of the poor health. So because of that, so this is very, very important that healthcare should be provided for all. The next is about the food. I don't have to elaborate on the need for food, and only people who have starved without food for a couple of days will be able to understand the importance of food security. And the study has shown that there is a danger. We are not saying that it is going to happen, but there is a danger that the world could run out of food by 2023. We're talking about 23 next year. So in a year or so, maybe most of the parts in most of the countries may not have food for their people. You can see the people lining up there. And growing population is said to be the main reason for this food shortage. And so food security is another issue that we need to talk about and learn about. Water is another important factor, and it is stated that the next world war will be over water, between countries, between states. I'm sure that I don't have to explain that what's happening in even in our country, and it is expected that this will spread across, and between countries issues may happen because of shortage of water. When you talk about water, it's not only the drinking water that we are talking about. We are talking about water for plantation, water for industrial use, and so on. And this is there on one side. The water resources are depleting, and we're not able to have enough water for all our needs. On the other hand, we also know that the God-given water through the rivers is being sent to sea every year. Millions and millions and gallons of water is being sent back to sea. So there's a dichotomy there, and we have to work on it. And water security deals with all these things. Giving good potable water for every human being, and also doing something to stop this good potable water getting into the sea and becoming useless later on. And I can go on explaining to you many factors, and I'm sure that the text will be given to you, which will include what are all the factors that we have to take care of when we talk about education for all, health for all, and bringing in water security and food security in our country. And we know that many NGOs are working on those things, and the text also will give you many NGOs, list of NGOs who are dealing with that, and I'm sure that we will be able to maintain the sustainability. And in conclusion, I would like to say that we are living in a VUCA world. Wellness and interdependence are the key factors for sustainable living. Inclusivity, health for all, education for all, food security and water security are critical for sustainability. And NGO's role in sustainable development in India is noteworthy. Much is being done on that. Youth of India should plan to start an NGO, or at least work for an NGO, or at the least be a free time volunteer in an NGO and contribute your might to the growth of our country by bringing in inclusivity. Thank you.